Austin Prock is only 29 years old, but he already has 2 NHRA Funny Car World Championships on his shelf. That is almost unheard of. Most drivers need years to learn how to handle these short wheelbase monsters. Prock jumped straight from top fuel dragsters, climbed into John Force Racing's Funny Car, and started winning right away. So what makes a funny car so different and so hard to drive? Same power, half the wheelbase. Both top fuel dragsters and funny cars make around 13,000 horsepower at the rear tires after the run. That number is so big it almost stops making sense. The huge difference is how far apart the front and rear wheels are. A top fuel dragster has a wheelbase of about 300 inches, almost 25 feet from the center of the front axle to the center of the rear axle. A funny car has only 125 inches, a little over 10 feet. That means a funny car has less wheelbase than the amount you lose when you switch from a dragster to a funny car. Prock puts it simply, you're missing more wheelbase than you actually have. Less wheelbase equals less stability. The shorter the car, the faster it wants to swap ends when the tires shake or the track gets bumpy. Sitting on top of the rear axle. In almost every race car on Earth, the driver sits in front of the rear axle. In a funny car, the driver sits on top of it, right above the exploding nitromethane engine and the spinning rear tires. You're at the back of the pendulum, Prock says. When the car moves even a little, the motion feels twice as big from the driver's seat. A small wiggle halfway down the track feels like the car is about to loop around backward. On television, the car looks glued to the lane. Inside the cockpit, Prock is turning the steering wheel lock to lock, white knuckle on the wheel, just to keep the car pointed forward. From the outside camera, it looks like I'm going perfectly straight, he laughs. Inside, I'm knuckle to knuckle on the wheel, giving it everything I've got. They just don't like to listen. The front end lives in the air. Funny cars spend a surprising amount of time with the front wheels off the ground. The huge rear tires and giant rear wing push the nose skyward as soon as the clutch locks up. When the front wheels finally come down, the car hits the track hard. Every ripple and seam in the concrete shoots straight through the carbon fiber body and into the driver's spine. You feel everything. A top fuel dragster is long and smooth by comparison. The funny car is raw. From sprint cars to nitromethane monsters. Prock didn't grow up dreaming only of drag racing. Before he ever touched a nitro car, he raced open-wheel cars on dirt. He spent nights sliding 1,000 horsepower non-wing sprint cars around tiny bull rings. Those sprint cars weigh about 1,400 pounds with the driver inside. That gives them a power-to-weight ratio that would embarrass most supercars. You steer them with the throttle, whip them sideways into corners while the front wheels paw at the sky, and wrestle them back straight with opposite lock. Sound familiar? To me, a funny car is a non-wing sprint car on steroids, Prock says. The front end is in the air a lot. You drive it with the rear tires. It doesn't want to listen to you. That's what I grew up doing, so the funny car felt comfortable pretty quick. You're never really in control. Ask almost any funny car driver, and they'll tell you the same thing. The car is driving you more than you're driving the car. Prock agrees. We call them beasts for a reason. As much as you want to think you're harnessing it, you're not. It's always driving you. You're just along for the ride, hanging on. That is what separates the good drivers from the champions. The great ones learn to hang on without overcorrecting, to feel what the car is about to do half a second before it does it, and to stay calm while 13,000 horsepower tries to spit them into the wall. Why he loves it? Some drivers prefer the smoother, more predictable feel of a top fuel dragster. Prock is the opposite. He loves that the car fights back. When you're a little bit crazy, that's what you love, he says with a grin. For seconds of controlled chaos, tires smoking, engine screaming, body shaking, front wheels in the air, steering wheel sawing back and forth. And if everything goes right, you cross the finish line first. There is nothing else in motorsport quite like it. Austin Prock found a car that matches his personality perfectly. Wild, unforgiving, and faster than almost anything else on wheels. 2 championships in his first 2 years prove he's already one of the best at keeping the beast pointed straight. And he's just getting started.